Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video and I'm turning my light on and today I am back with a plan with me. I'm using the Snowbound kit from Plannerface. I do pay off Plannerface. You can use my code which is in the description in order to save. I really love this kit. It's another really cute pastel one, and this week was the week that Onyx Storm was released. So anyone who watches my channel or knows me will know that I am an avid reader, and Onyx Storm is the third book in the Empyrean series, and yeah, it's like one of my favourite series, so it was release week for that book. If you want to hear more about that, head over and watch my January and February reading journal flip through. I talk a little bit about the series, and you can see my reviews over there if you want to, or you can see, I think you can see them on my Instagram. So yeah, how is everybody? I hope you are all well. I realised last night that I made a huge mistake and I have actually missed a week in my planner. So when I've been turning the page, 2 must have been like just kind of not stuck together, but like static stuck together. And yeah, it basically means that the last week in January will have to go into the first week of February. I mean, thankfully I did it in January so I can fix it in February, but if it had been any other week, any other month, sorry, I wouldn't have been able to fix it. So yeah, was very upset about that. I could never do my planner in a different order. A few people were like, oh, just flip the weeks round, but I just can't do it. It would upset me so much. So yeah, whenever you watch me do plan with me's, I'll be like triple checking that I'm on the right page, because I've just got bad anxiety now that I'm going to do it again. Honestly, I was like so upset about it last night. But yeah, so we have got lots of full boxes to choose from. I think that's all of them. Yeah. I do actually want to put my weekend banner down as well. So we'll just quickly do that, and then we'll get on to the plans. Okay. There we go. I say it every time, but I really love that weekend banner. Okay, so in the sidebar, we do need to mark that it's Onyx Storm. I don't have any tall boxes for this kit, so they're just additional full boxes. So I'm just going to, I'm going to start from the bottom up, I think, with my full boxes. Shall we put headers in between them? Why not? Since we've got extra space. That one at the top, really. I don't actually think I've got that many full boxes. So that's 2, and I need 7 for the days. That's going to be all 7. Let's go for mint. Then if I put this one at the top, and then we'll see what space we've got. So, let's have a look what I've got in here. If there's anything that might go. That's pretty. That's from Josephine Bow Designs. Right, okay. We'll go with that. So down there. And then, shall I go for a swatch in the sidebar? Or a quarter box? I'm going for a swatch, I think. And I'm going to go mint to match the date covers. Okay, that worked out well. So first things first, I am marking, as I say, Onyx Storm Week, and I was very excited. So I'm marking that with a Over the Rainbow emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Just gonna zoom in a little bit on the dailies. There we go. Okay, on to the plans. So, full box wise, where shall we go? I'm tempted to do like all across the top. Don't tend to do like patterns really with my full boxes anymore, but there's a first time for everything. Well, it won't be a first time, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so first things first, I had lots of meetings on this day. I can't remember what date this was. Was it the 20th of January? Yeah. Yeah, so this was the end of the budget setting period. So I had to start reviewing budgets. Then I listened to some music and did some reading. Weirdly, I can't do those things together. So I can't read and listen to music at the same time because I end up either singing or reading. I can't do both. I can have like background noise, like I can read on public transport or like on the bus, but yeah, I can't read and listen to music, weirdly. Let me know if you're the same. So I marked meetings with a laptop from the kit. I marked music and reading with this music note from Plannerface stickers. Then I had to go and collect my tiles. So those were the tiles that I'd ordered the week before when I was out for dinner with Joanne. And I'm just marking that with like a parcel delivery sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co. Then Theodora had her swimming lesson. Mint. And I'm marking that with her custom character from Teddy Plans Co. Seem to have little hair stuck to the stickers. I don't know why. It's a bit annoying. Then I updated my planning notes and I pulled some stickers. So I think we'll go for pink. So I'm marking updating my planning notes with this primrose sticker from Tickle Pimp Planning. Don't know what I've done to these custom scripts. And then I marked pulling stickers with a sticker sheet, which is from Plannerface. I'm just going to spin this round a bit. I have to do everything on an angle. Okay, so Tuesday was Onyx Storm Day. So this was really exciting. I had basically pre-ordered a hardback copy, and I wasn't going to buy the Kindle version, mainly because I was like, well, I can just read my hardback. But then I realised that I might not necessarily want to read it in a physical book because it's quite rare that I read physical books. So I bought it on Kindle as well. So I actually have a Kindle version and a hardback, and I've not read the hardback. Then I basically had meetings all day and I was just desperate to read the book. So I marked it being released with a balloon from the kit, and then I marked desperate to read with like this wanting to cry emoji, which is from the Coffee Monsters Co. Then next up, I'm just marking that I had more meetings. And again, I'm doing that with a laptop from Plannerface. I remember I was pretty much back to back these days. Then I was still desperate to read, but I was having dinner with my friend and her little boy. They come usually on a Tuesday. So I'm marking with this knife and fork sticker from Plannerface that we had dinner with Tony and Marshy. Then I basically had a bubble bath and then sat down to read. And I was basically voice noting Karina about it because she was reading the book at the same time, and we just like absolutely had to discuss what was going on. So I'm marking the bath with this bubble bath sticker from White Deer Stationery. I'm actually just gonna cut that down, I think. Where are my scissors? In here, yes. I'm pretty sure I finished it the next day, so it didn't take me very long to read. So after that, yeah, I finally sat down to read the book, which I thought was amazing. It's had mixed reviews. There's a lot of world building, so I think a lot of people were like waiting for something big to happen, but it didn't really happen. It was kind of very much a lot of setup for the next book, and also it ended on one hell of a cliffhanger. So I finally marked that it was time to read, yay, and I marked that with a Kindle sticker from Planner Bow Stickers, and then I marked voice noting Karina with a bow decor from Plannerface. Then on to Wednesday. I love this full box with the little deer on the cup, so cute. I had even more meetings, which is not very fun. It was just one of those weeks. So I marked that with a laptop again. Then I practically just read like all day. So I read on my lunch break and I read on like all night. Wednesdays are the evening that I don't have Theodora, so it's pretty clear for me. So I basically marked that I was reading, and again I used another Kindle sticker from Planner Bow Stickers. Then what other boxes have we got? I had a bubble bath. I always read in the bath, so it was very likely that I was reading in the bath. And I'm marking that with another of the bath stickers from White Deer Stationery. And then all I sort of have to mark is that I was like reading all night and I was voice noting Karina. So basically Karina was sending me voice notes at like after every chapter, or like after most chapters. So yeah, I was basically reading the chapter and then going and listening to her voice note and then voice noting her back, but she was further on than me. So I'm just using another Kindle sticker to mark that I read all night, and then I'm using another bow sticker just to mark that we were voice noting again. So that is the first half of the week. I hope this isn't too dark. I do have my ring light on, but it's also like quite bright in here, and I think that makes it dark weirdly. Okay, full box at the bottom. So on to Thursday. This was actually the day that I finished Onyx Storm. I thought I'd finished it. I was sure I'd finished it the day before, but obviously not. So I'm just marking that with a starry-eyed emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Then basically like Karina and I had to do a massive debrief. So we wanted to like talk about it, talk about theories. This went on for ages. So basically like none of my other bookish friends were reading it at the same time. So my lovely bookish friend Kat, who's Peace Love Plan, she was still reading, I think, Fourth Wing at this point. And she was like not ready to discuss it, and Karina was the only person I knew that had read it. So yeah, we did a debrief, and I'm marking that with a star sticker from Plannerface. Then I filmed a plan with me on this day. Which, oh yeah, we're still in January, so there was like no filming in February. So I'm just marking that with a YouTube sticker from Papershare. Then well, Theodora was at her cheer class, firstly. I'm just trying to find boxes. Let's go for mint and purple. So yeah, Thea was at her cheer class, and I marked that with a cheerleading emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. And then finally she came home and we had some YouTube time together, and I'm marking that with a YouTube Primrose sticker from Tickle Pink Planning. Primrose is like the perfect colours for this kit, which is nice. Then on to the weekend. So Friday was like really, really windy, and I remember I took Theodora to school and it honestly like nearly blew me over, and that's not an exaggeration. It was gale force winds, it was all over the news, there were trees down, and it wasn't raining or anything, it was just really windy, so it wasn't like a storm. But I remember her dad had to pick her up from school and drop her home because we walk normally, because yeah, it was so windy. So I'm marking that with a windy emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Then Anna and I had a catch up regarding the planners department. We just did some planning and some prep. We were getting ready for the launch. So, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, this was the weekend, I think. Was this the weekend that the podcast went live? I think so. So we knew that like the news that I was going to be hosting an event with Anna was going to come out. So we were just chatting about that. But I wasn't actually feeling very well on this day, unfortunately. So just marking that I was feeling unwell with this tissue box from Isabel the Owl. Unfortunately, that shop isn't open anymore, but I had something brewing for like ages and it just wouldn't present itself. You know, when you sort of like have, like you can feel it's like coming, and I had like a blocked nose for like 2 weeks and nothing ever presented itself, which is just really frustrating because I always think as soon as it presents itself, I know that then I'm going to start feeling better. So I had a bubble bath and I marked that with a bath sticker again from White Deer Stationery. Then we had dinner with my next door neighbours and I'm marking that with a meal sticker, which is from Plannerface. And then finally, if I can find a box, that one will do. Basically, our next door neighbours have a granddaughter who is the same age as Theodora, and they were playing together on the Switch. Okay, on to Saturday. So I'm going to put down my double box scene, which is so pretty. I did say that I would, now that I've got these lines on the new Tilly Journals planner, that I would try again to do like the traditional layout. So I will consider doing that. I really didn't like it last time. I couldn't make it work, but I promise I will try. So first things first, we had a lie-in, and I'm marking that with a pillow sticker, which is from the kit. Then I ended up in an Onyx Storm rabbit hole. Basically, I was led in bed and Theodora was like playing in my room and stuff, and I just ended up like reading all of these theories, and yeah, I went down the rabbit hole. It's the only word I can use to describe it. So that was fun. Then I had to collect a parcel. So I'm marking the rabbit hole with this like nerdy glasses emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Then I'm marking collecting the parcel with an envelope sticker, which is from the kit. We had lunch out. I can't actually remember where we went. I feel like it must have been the day we went to Tesco Cafe with Nan, maybe, since I'd had a parcel to collect. So I'm marking that with a coffee cup from the kit. Then when I came home, I watched the darts, and I also decided to reread Fourth Wing. So Fourth Wing is the first book in the Empyrean series. So basically the first, Onyx Storm is the third book, and I decided to reread the whole series. So I marked watching the darts with a TV from Plannerface, and then I'm using another one of the Kindle stickers from Plannerface stickers to mark that I was starting my Fourth Wing reread. Then finally, just a little bit more Planners Department admin. So we did the website, so we worked on the website, and we also set up the Facebook group. And then finally I had a food delivery. So I'm marking setting up the group and the website with a pencil, which is from the kit. And then, where are my scissors gone? There they are. And then marking the food delivery with this, basically, what is it? A bag of groceries. Couldn't remember what it was then. And I've like stuck something to the back of this sticker. I must have had something on my scissors. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Okay, get off the tweezers. Thank you. Right, let me stick website down. And then I need to cut that bit off. Group and website. There we go. Then finally on to Sunday. So first things first, we had another lie-in, and again I am marking that with a pillow from Plannerface. We decided to have a pajama day. Theodora really has to be in the mood for a pajama day, so I can't make her have one if she doesn't want one. So even if I say like, oh, we're having a PJ day, we're having a lazy day, we're not leaving the house, blah, 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 she will just be like, no, I want to get dressed. But this day she was like, I really want a PJ day. And I was like, yes, win. It means I don't have to get dressed. So I'm marking that with pajamas from White Deer Stationery. Then we watched some YouTube, and I'm marking that with a YouTube icon from Papershire. I needed to make some reading notes. So basically when I was rereading Fourth Wing, I Am Flame and Onyx Storm, I wanted to make some notes in order so that I was kind of like knew where I was at, and I was basically kind of like making up theories and stuff. So I wanted to make notes of things that I knew were like of significance in later books, because I suppose that's the benefit of hindsight. Like I knew there's definitely foreshadowing in all of the books, so I wanted to make notes of those. So I marked that with a notepad sticker from Plannerface. Then Theodora and I watched Gladiators. This is like one of her favourite TV shows. So I marked that with a TV from Plannerface. Then I ordered some limited edition, like a limited edition set of Caraval books. Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart are literally like probably I think my favourite fantasy books. And that's like quite a, you know, that's quite a saying to say that they're my favourite, but they are. They're what got me into fantasy. And Stephanie Garber is like one of my favourite authors, and I am really, really, really excited for her new novel, which I'm sure is September. I've got it pre-ordered. So really, really happy to get those. So I marked those with a like book emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. I had a call with my friend Elizabeth. We often have phone calls just because we don't live very near to each other. We live like within driving distance. It's not crazy, but it's not as easy to get to. So I marked that with a telephone from Plannerface, and then I marked reading with a Kindle sticker, which is from Planner Bow Stickers. So that is the spread. I will go and put my date dots on. The album with the date dots in is downstairs, so I will definitely do that after. I really love how this turned out, and I love this little bow from the Josephine Bow Designs Advent, which is in the sidebar. And yeah, I hope you love the spread. If you like this video, I'd love if you give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see future videos, I'd love if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.